Well, the Pentagon today released a new trove of UFO files, and of the 40 new files, 19 of them are videos.
40 classified files, 19 videos, objects chasing fighter jets, a nuclear weapons plant forced into lockdown, and a 79-year paper trail the government never wanted you to see. What scientists discovered inside these files changes everything we thought we knew. Let's get into it. The drop. The files landed with no press conference and no podium, but the letterhead tells you how big the room was.
They're coming from the Pentagon, NASA, the CIA, the FBI, and the Energy Department.
It went up on the Pentagon's own portal. 14 documents, 19 videos, 4 audio files, 3 images.
The Pentagon released a second batch of UFO files today, including more than 40 videos.
Reporters counted them out loud on live television.
64 total, second big batch that's been released.
But these are not the leftovers, they are the survivors, because everyone stayed unresolved after AARO filtered out birds, balloons, drones, and sensor glitches.
The government has been taking this topic of UAP seriously for much longer than they have let on.
Start with the viral one, 32 seconds of infrared over the Atlantic in 2020. The crew logged an object 12 to 15 feet tall, like a deformed balloon they could not confirm was one. Then there is the footage that made the analysts go quiet.
This is video here from a U.S. military sensor in Syria. This one is getting a lot of attention.
For most of the recording, nothing happens.
Picks up speed and then it literally just zooms off.
That 1 second is why serious people stopped laughing.
That is the part that experts are especially perplexed by, because our technology, we are told, just couldn't do that.
The filmmaker who interviewed the insiders did not hedge.
They show UAP performing in ways that no known aircraft can.
He measured it against the fastest hardware America has built.
These things are moving faster than our fastest fighter jets.
And then he closed the easy door completely.
Simply put, there is no human-made technology that can do that.
The Persian Gulf file is stranger because there are 3 of them.
Now, a formation of UFOs over the Persian Gulf.
Now take it underwater beside a submarine.
And this video from 2022 shows multiple spherical objects going in and out of the water near a submarine.
A retired admiral who once ran NOAA watched it live.
And like you're showing videos right now that I cannot explain.
Then he took away the 2 words that carry every debunk.
None of this can be explained by drones or balloons.
And buried in the audio was a voice from 1962.
There was a recording of an astronaut Scott Carpenter from 1962.
This was an astronaut with no vocabulary for what he saw.
He described seeing something very strange, something that he said looked like snowflakes.
So how far back does this paper trail actually run? The 79-year paper trail. Further than anyone guessed, and one early reader came out angry.
It just makes me furious that our government has been lying to us for 79 years about this.
He was specific about how they did it.
They've been lying by omission. I think they've been lying by misdirection.
The oldest file is a 1948 Project Sign report on roughly 100 sightings, and a year later the physicists were summoned.
We see documents dating back to 1948-49, when a conference took place in Los Alamos led by Edward Teller.
That is the man who built the hydrogen bomb, sitting at Los Alamos in 1949 with the Atomic Energy Commission and the FBI discussing lights in the sky.
Distinguished physicists talking about green fireballs that they cannot figure out, some objects moving horizontally.
They argued for hours, and the transcript stops without an answer.
And so these objects remained unresolved.
They brought in the country's top meteor expert to close it.
There were green fireballs that they thought, okay, maybe these are meteors. They brought in Dr. Lincoln La Paz, a leading meteor expert.
He studied it and then told the room nothing like it had ever been seen in a meteorite fall.
Just said, no, these don't move horizontally with no noise and maintain a consistent speed.
And here is the thread, because these were not cornfields.
Maneuverability. And there were 5 cities that had nuclear facilities that these things clustered over.
Now jump 70 years forward to Amarillo, Texas.
One of the releases today involves Amarillo, Texas back in 2015, where a UAP went into a space that assembles nuclear material.
That is Pantex, where America assembles its nuclear weapons, and radar picked up an unknown object there on September 1, 2015. The plant locked down and officers logged a small diamond-shaped object, silent, with no visible propulsion that outpaced them. It went to the FBI, still unresolved. Then there is the headline file, in which an aviator with 28 years of service reported flight characteristics unlike anything he had seen in 28 years. But the file that stopped the admiral was not a video.
There's one written account. It's from a senior U.S. intelligence officer describing two large orbs.
They scrambled fighter jets, and then the report turns.
The officer said the same orbs we had encountered were now chasing the fighters.
They were not running from the fighters, they were chasing them.
We were virtually speechless after these observations.
He calls that document the most important thing in the batch.
This might be the most significant report in the entire release this time.
And he explains why in the language of a courtroom.
By the way, let the audience know that sworn testimony is used in U.S. courts to convict and acquit.
The trail ends under oath, which is where the scientists walk in. What the scientists actually concluded. The astrophysicist now leading the White House Science Council read all 40 and refused to give anyone the sentence they wanted.
At this time, there is no single video, image, or any other data that indicates a non-human origin for any of these objects.
He said it twice in case anyone clipped the exciting half.
So I would say at the moment there is no conclusive evidence.
Then he took the viral files apart, calling the six-pointed star a diffraction pattern in the optics, the NASA images tumbling orbital debris, and the floating brain a match for footage AARO judged to be balloons. Even the advocates admit the problem is the data, not the objects.
Many of these videos, they could be explained prosaically, which is why we need more data.
The admiral named the missing piece precisely.
The problem is, Anna, is that the metadata is not shown. So it's going to be very hard to quantitatively say this is what's occurring.
So what changes everything is not a saucer, it is the architecture, because publishing only the unexplained leaves a description of behavior.
We see instantaneous acceleration, we see the ability to make right-angle turns, we don't see traditional flight surfaces.
Which is why he frames it as a fork with two branches.
Either they were sent by adversarial nations, in which case they are a matter of national security.
That first branch means a rival is a century ahead of us.
Or this is the biggest discovery ever made in science.
There is no third door, and then he says the unforgettable part.
The fact that they are reaching out to scientists like myself to try and help them figure it out.
Because governments do not call astrophysicists about foreign drones.
Implies, in my mind, that they believe that some of these objects cannot be human-made.
And they keep coming because this was tranche 4 of a rolling declassification ordered in February 2026, with millions of records still under review.
My understanding is that this is going to be a rolling disclosure process.
Which means these 40 files are only the sample.
You know, it's important to remember, this barely scratches the surface.
And the real story is not the lights, it is the rationing.
It's like rationing for you what is already yours.
So no, scientists did not find aliens in these files, but they found a 79-year paper trail, a nuclear plant on lockdown, an officer speechless under oath, and a physicist telling the world's most powerful government that the answer is still unresolved. Batch 5 is coming, so tell me which file to open first. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.